Therefore, Chief Keith Davis presents to you the highest non-posthumous award this department has to offer, Medal of Honor by Certificate of Commendation for an outstanding act in the line of duty with risk involved. Any more? Sergeant Pierce, you may return. Sergeant Gerald Butler, Sergeant Mark Pierce. Members of law enforcement, stand to salute you and your staff. The city you serve thanks you.
As all of y'all know, that people in law enforcement and first responders, a lot of time is a thankless job. You have to love people and love helping people to be able to put up with the kind of stuff that we face each and every day. Yeah, it's not every day they face a life-threatening situation, but you never know when that time's gonna come. And I commend these ladies and gentlemen for standing up when the time did come and they were all able to go home safely to their families. And thank you all for attending to show them your respect tonight.
Law enforcement dismissed.
All right, as we continue the regular scheduled meeting, just a reminder that if you would please make sure that your electronic devices are silenced. As law enforcement is exiting, just echo the sentiments, I'm sure, speak on behalf of my fellow council people here that we're so grateful for each and every one of the law enforcement and the first responders in and throughout our community, as well as communities throughout our state and nation. So can't say enough about those guys. Unimaginable what some of them have faced here in our community as of late, but they handle themselves with dignity and honor, and that's a great reflection on our city and the people of it. So again, kudos and commendations are warranted. We're going to move on to the item 4, the public hearing. This will be the second public hearing for the Small Cities Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG application.
Good evening. Good evening. It is an honor to be here. Is it on? Yes, wait on. My name is Jeffrey Winter with Cornerstone Community Partners. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here today to facilitate the second public hearing for the City of Live Oaks CDBG housing rehab applications. I'd like to thank Clerk Gill as well as Finance Director Luther for the time and assistance they provided in providing the information and documentation needed to finalize the draft applications, a copy of which has been provided to City staff, the council, and we've even provided a few hard copies in the back if any residents are interested in reviewing. The purpose of this public hearing is to facilitate or to solicit public comment on the draft application. As indicated in the notice, the City of Live Oak is pursuing $1.5 million for a community development block grant in the housing rehabilitation category to assist 21 homes throughout the City of Live Oak. The work consists of either rehabilitation and in some cases demolition and replacement. In the event of funding, applications will be held to solicit applications from your residents to receive assistance. At this point, I'd be happy to turn things back over to council to open public hearing for public comment.
All right, absolutely. So at this point, we will open the floor for public hearing for the second public hearing, I should say, for the Small Cities Community Development Block Grant, CDBG application. Yes, ma'am.
I am Linda Williams, and I am so much I need my dress.
No.
I don't. Okay, Linda Williams, and I'm very much in favor of this particular grant, and I pray that you will seriously look into this. This is something that has been looked over for years, and this is something that I'm asking the council to take it seriously and approve this grant, because we're talking about housing, and then this is, with this particular grant, that I see that we're talking about demolishing some of the homes, so it's not like you're going to build all the homes just in one spot. So this will be all over the community. So everyone will get an opportunity to have some of the houses in your district. So I think that's very important. This is something that's needed here in the city. And I'm hoping that you, as you sit up here, that you will consider accepting this grant and doing whatever it is that needs to be for this grant to go through as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Further comments from the public? Yes, ma'am.
You have to start with it.
No, ma'am, this is just a public hearing.
Good afternoon, Anita Williams. I think he may have said, thank you for allowing me to speak, he may have said, but I was wondering, the 21 homes, how are those chosen by district, by application, by where there's derelict homes, or if someone can explain?
I'll defer back to the gentleman.
Very good question. The application process will be conducted in accordance with the city's housing assistance plan. All applications will be reviewed using the same criteria. And that's something we'll work with city staff to make sure that you have an updated housing assistance plan in place before we ever open up the application period.
Further comments or questions? All right, seeing and hearing none, at this point we will close the public comment section for the second public hearing for the Small Cities Community Development Block Grant, CDBG application. Any comments or questions or concern from the council at this time?
I have a question. How did you determine 21 homes when we were talking about the possibility of how much was this grant that we were applying for?
1.5 million.
So the 21, how did you come up with that number?
The 21 homes is based on the formula in the application to maximize the City of Live Oak's competitive point scoring in the application.
But could it possibly be more than 21 if we?
Yes, ma'am. We certainly have to make commitments on the front end, and until we get out and review the homes, conduct a preliminary inspection, it's hard to tell what kind of prices we'll be looking at investing in each of the homes. So we set a benchmark of 21, we can certainly exceed that.
Okay.
Question. Square footage, what's the average square foot per home? Do you know?
Every community is different. It would be dictated within your housing assistance plan as to the square footage of the replacement homes, I'm presuming. That would be dictated in your housing assistance plan, and we'll work with city staff to identify something that's agreeable to all members of council.
And just, as I said, just to let you know, that 1.5 million, if it just went all for homes, it would be about $71,500 per home, 71,428.
So you already have to own a home to get this assistance or be in public housing?
Generally speaking, this is designed for owner-occupied, single-family housing. However, within your housing assistance plan, you can develop different strategies to address even rental properties. And I'd be happy to go through that process with city staff, make sure we're crossing all of the, checking all the boxes off to make sure we get that done.
All right, any further questions, gentlemen?
Rental, what do you mean rental property? Sorry.
There is the potential for a community to address rental properties. There are some additional steps that the city would have to complete in order to address rental homes. Specifically, you have to coordinate with the owner of the property to ensure that they make the home available to persons of low to moderate income for a set period of time beyond which they receive the assistance.
So then you're saying someone on rental property, they wouldn't become a renter does this the new home or anything?
In the scenario I just described, we would be assisting a home that is being rented by a qualified household, at which point that assistance would be provided on the home that they are renting, not owning, and in return, the owner of that home would have to make a commitment to make that property available to persons that meet the income guidelines associated with this program for a set number of years beyond which they receive the assistance. It is a process that can be done, and we'd be happy to work with city staff to see if that's something you all would like to pursue.
Technically, yes, go
I
ahead.
know. But my thing is that we're talking about housing, we're talking about people purchasing housing. The rental is great, but we're talking about now people becoming homeowners. This is what I'm asking you councils, when you start looking at this grant, let's look at homeowners, not renters. Because when you start talking about ownership, then that means that your community will grow. These people will stay there and they'll take care of your property. Rental property, boom, boom. They don't take care of your property as well as if it was their own. So I'm asking you, when you look for this grant, think about home ownership. And there's numerous of people who will purchase home as long as they can get the money. But you know yourselves that it's very difficult to get money loans from the banks. And this particular grant is going to help you. So instead of looking so much at it as being rental, let's look at it as home ownership into our community.
All right, any further discussion concerning that item? All right, we'll move on. Thank you very much, sir. We'll move on to the public comment section, number 5 on the agenda. I'm going to call your name out. I know some of you guys have already noted on here that you want to wait until a particular item number on the agenda. So just for the record, Mr. Jeff Bradford, 8, is that E? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, 8 Echo for Jeff. Miss Anita Williams, she's got hers on D, E, and F. Is that correct?
Right.
All right, I'll do my best to, as long as, you know, I'll do my best to accommodate.
No, I probably after they finish.
Okay, yes ma'am, that'll be fine. And then, ooh. Young, maybe, Young, somebody Young? Okay, what's your first name, I'm sorry?
Randy.
Randy, okay, Randy Young, 8 Echo also, 8E?
Randy, Y-O-A-N-D-Y.
Oh, I messed that all up, I apologize.
That's okay.
He's ain't that
I mean, you didn't help me out a whole lot either, I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm sorry, what is it?
Yo, Andy.
Yo, Andy, all right, Yo, Andy. You gonna wait till 8 Echo, sir? Yo, Andy? You gonna wait for 8E? All right, I got you, Yo, Andy. I'll never forget your name now. Miss Carol Castleberry, you're gonna wait and speak item E as well?
I think it's item F.
F?
F.
Okay, F, I couldn't tell that. Okay, so F. All right. And then Miss Linda Williams?
I'm good.
She's good. All right. All right, so we're going to move on then to item 6, matters of the city with the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Briefly, I wanted to give a report that on Sunday, the First Baptist Church in Westwood came together for a joint service at the football field, and then I think they had about 300 members went out throughout the city picking up trash, and well, we were very appreciative of that. They worked with the Lift Up Live Oak, which is the Chamber of Commerce project, and we supplied the trash bags and gloves for them. And I think it was a very successful event. Appreciate our people helping facilitate, Mr. Sessions and Mr. Gerald Lee. He did a great job too. So I want to thank those folks for that. My second item is to present to you tonight resolution appointing commissioner to the serve on the Live Oak Housing Authority Board commissioner. And we have Kenny Beasley. Mr. Beasley is the candidate that I present to you tonight for consideration to appoint to the Live Oak Housing Authority Board. He would fill out the term of Mr. Brantley Helvenston, who resigned. That term will run through September 30th, 2028. I think we have a resolution that Mr. Gill needs to read, or go ahead, Mr. King.
City Council Resolution number 2025-12, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, appointing a commissioner to the Housing Authority Board, repealing all resolutions in conflict, and providing for effective.
The pleasure of the council.
One question. Mr. Mayor, did we, was that the only application?
There was one other. I did talk with the lady. She's very nice. I explained to her that Mr. Beasley lives within the city. She lived out in an unincorporated area. I determined that best practice would be, if possible, to appoint a person who lives within the city. Mr. Beasley met that qualification, so.
Okay. I think that's our standard anyway. In the city limits. Okay.
All right, be a pleasure of the council.
Motion that we accept Mr. Beasley as our new Housing Authority Board member.
I second.
And as part of the motion, approve resolution number 2025-12.
Yes.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign? All right. So then resolution 2025-012 is approved, and I would like to piggyback off of what the mayor said as well, and just extend my gratitude, I guess is the best word, to Mr. Beasley. He's always been willing to step up and volunteer wherever, and I feel like that doesn't go unnoticed with me especially. So appreciate your willingness to volunteer and to serve your community. It means a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Beasley, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mayor, is that it?
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Okay, moving on to item 7A, that'll be Mr. Jefferson's item.
On the 7A, and let me say something quickly, please, the President.
Yes, sir.
The reason I took item B off, because all the information has not come back in. It would not be fair for us to make a decision on some things, but I'd like to table that. For the record, I'd like to table that B to the next council meeting, and the pleasure of the board on that. But now, let's go to item A here. In our CRA meeting, we have two cemeteries. The north side cemetery and then the east side cemetery. And as our clerk, city clerk so luxurious said, that if you do for one, you have to do for other. The north side cemetery is located in the CRA district. So in the CRA meeting, we presented the same thing and got permission from council and board members that I would ask the staff of the CRA to help me, as being the lead on this here, for as trying to beautify both of our cemetery make some changes, make some improvements, much as we can with the certain amount of money that we have. So tonight is now presented to this council because we do have city council who's going to stand and present, well, give money also to help beautify the East Side Cemetery, since it does not stand in the CRA district. But combining together with the CRA and the city, they would try to make sure that both of our cemetery get beautification that we're looking for, and also to help improve our city. When people do come to our community and unfortunately on death situations, then they get a chance to see also how well we keep our cemeteries up, how well they look, and the beautification that they are. And then as we run around and visit both of our cemeteries, if we desire, or if not visiting our loved ones, we can also see the improvement. So that was my heart desire, that we improve both of our cemeteries to make things look beautiful for the city and improve a great atmosphere for us. So what I'm asking the board is to give me the same pleasure and the leisure that we got from the CRA board, that the CRA staff and I work together, come together, and get a visual model where we could all vote on what we're going to do. And you can't see it in the visual model. But both of these entities has to come together, and we have to agree on it. So, Mr. President, that's my appeal to this board. Looking for a decision.
Yes, sir. Just to be clear, it already has been budgeted, correct? In
Yes.
the budget, the $30,000.
Yeah, 30.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just asking for approval to get staff to assist with
Yes.
some sort of like a model or a plan as to what they can do, and
Yes, what we can do, and that is come up with to present to council and to the citizens of Live Oak. So hopefully we can have a working model soon.
so I guess the question is then, Mr. Sessions, would be that would fall in between like a joint effort between you, Gerald, and the CRA staff. So
We'll try to get together and come up with some type of pictorial thing and see if it's pleasing to everybody for signage and things like that.
And with council.
Yes.
Thank you, okay.
We were to get together and come up with it to present to you.
Okay.
all right, does that satisfy your?
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion on that one? All right, perfect. All right, thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Moving on to